Hello there lovely people, it's Alex from Nintendo Life here, and I have received yet another My Retro Game Box. For anyone who doesn't know, My Retro Game Box is a subscription service where every month you get sent in the post a lovely box full of retro games. There'll be more details in the link in the description. So enough faffing around, let's crack open that box and see what's inside. So here it is, the unit itself. It's still the white box, and yes, you can see I've blacked out my address for obvious reasons, but I've kept my name there, so you can tell that I didn't just steal it from a passing vagrant and that it's actually meant for me. So, let's crack it open, shall we? Here we are, with a nice sort of array of potato things. These are actually made of potato. They taste awful, by the way. So, let's have a look at what we got. This was the first thing that caught my attention. This is brand new. We've not had anything like this before. What is it? It's a headphone tidy. And phone stand. And it's shaped like a joystick. Interesting. Have a look at that in a moment. We've also got some Gumph, just advertise a £10 discount code. I imagine that's not unique. If it is, help yourself to it because I've got enough stuff anyway. And, oh, a thing from Funstock. How surprising. That's where we got our Retron 5. Now let's have a look at the things we're really interested in. The games. Now this one feels like it's boxed, so I'm going to leave this one till last. We've got a slightly larger one here. Honestly couldn't tell you what that is. This one feels like a Game Boy Advance game. Not Game Boy Advance, original Game Boy game. Oh, it's not even sealed, so this one's going to be quick. Let's have a look. It is a black one. What's this? Grand Theft Auto on the Game Boy. I had absolutely no idea this was a thing. Oh, that should be fun. What else we got then? What's in here? Oh, this one's not sealed either. Oh, it's a NES game. First one. I don't actually own any NES games, so this is going to be interesting. California Games. Oh my word, I actually saw JonTron talk about this game. I didn't think it was real. I honestly thought it was just something he'd made up. That should be a laugh. Now, let's have a look at the boxed one. This is the one that we were all waiting for. At least I was. Come on. What's this? Oh, it's another Master System game. What is it? It's another World Grand Prix, the Mega Cartridge. Mega Cartridge? Why do they call it that when it's a Master System game? Oh, it's got its instructions and everything. Another racing game. Got one of them last week, or was it 2? And I don't mean week, I mean month. Right, well, 3 more games to try out. I tell you what, I'm really interested to try out this one. I just can't see how Grand Theft Auto would work on a Game Boy. But I suppose we could be surprised, and this should be a laugh as well. Right, well, let's have a look at them, shall we? California Games. Now, from what other people have told me, this game isn't exactly brilliant, and they're kind of right. Basically, it's just a series of mini-games that you can play through, and whilst the mini-games aren't that intuitive, you can actually learn how to do them if you've got the instructions, which I didn't, but I kind of managed to work some of it out anyway. The half-pipe one, for example, is just... well, just look at it. The BMX game seems to be just a little bit sort of weird, and I can't quite put my finger as to why that is, but for some reason, it just doesn't really feel right. You keep dying on everything, you can't really get much speed up at all, the sprites are too big so you can't see what's coming, it's just not that much fun. Skating's actually quite similar, but it's really quite enjoyable, I don't know why, but I actually had quite a lot of fun with this one. I think the ability to jump really does help, because you don't have to think, okay, I've got to get out of the way of this thing, instead you can just jump over it and Bob's your uncle, you're fine. Honestly, for all its foibles, the skating minigame is actually pretty enjoyable, so you've got to give it marks there. The game also supports 8-player multiplayer, which is really surprising actually. This is definitely a game of its time, and I reckon that if you got some friends round and had a couple of drinks, you could have a serious laugh with it. However, if you're sober and by yourself, you're not going to have a lot of fun. Grand Theft Auto for the Game Boy. I had no idea that this was even a thing. How do you condense the Grand Theft Auto experience onto such a small and old 8-bit portable? The answer is not very well. When I first started out, I couldn't even work out how to move until I realised that you have to actually hold the A button in order to move forward like you were driving a car. You have to complete missions like this one where you've got to go and pick up a vehicle, and it's true Liberty City is rather sparsely populated, but it is an old system. So when I came up to this vehicle, I tried to get in it and I tried pressing buttons. I thought maybe the B button, which didn't work. I couldn't work out how to get in. Then for some reason I clipped under the road, but no problem. Eventually I worked out that I could get into the car by pressing select. Then, once I was in the car, I couldn't move. I thought maybe the controls were just weird and I hadn't worked them out, but I was pressing literally every button and it wasn't moving. Every time I got out, I still clipped onto the road, so I reckon there was something wrong. I restarted the game, got into the car, and Jesus Christ, this is fast! The cars are unbelievably unwieldy, and I think the problem comes from the fact that there's no analog control, so it really is difficult just to get around anywhere. I managed to complete part of the first mission, and then I sort of drove into the water, so that kind of cut that short a little bit. The game is really impressive from a technical level, because it really does emulate the GTA experience really very well. Unfortunately, it's hampered by so many areas. I mean, it's an 8-bit system for a start, only digital input, and it's just not a lot of fun to play. Very technically impressive, but not all that enjoyable. It's a pity because I really want to like this game, and I suppose if I had a bit more patience, I could probably get round to it, but I don't, so let's move on. World Grand Prix for the Master System. Now, I had relatively low expectations of this game. Racing games for the time didn't really go that well for me. I wasn't big on them when I was younger, so I didn't really play them, but having played them recently, they are a bit dated. This game is a bit of a strange one as well. I got up to what I thought was my top speed, and I saw some cars in the distance, and I thought, right, I'm going to overtake these gits. But they never really seemed to get any closer. A quick look at the manual, and I discovered that I could actually change up a gear by pressing down, which I don't quite understand. Then I got the hang of it and I really started to enjoy myself, which surprised me given my first impressions. The graphics are fairly basic, the sound effects are just a sort of a constant whine from the engine, and as far as music goes, there is none until you actually complete a level. However, the most impressive part of this game is the fact that it comes with a full track editor. Considering this is on the Master System, this is absolutely fantastic. And I actually had loads of fun creating my own tracks and just racing around them. Primarily because I could do them because they were really simple. If I had had this game as a child and would have been able to create my own levels, it would have blown my mind. It's a shame that it's only single player, but I still had loads of fun with it. And I really, really like it as a racer. It's nice and simple, and it's almost relaxing in a way. Overall, really decent little game. For its time, this would have been fantastic. So there you have it, 3 more delightful retro games. Some better than others, but all very technically impressive in their own way. So I suppose you're wondering what all this was about. It is just like a little joystick, but it's got these suction cups on the back. You stick it onto the back of your phone, and it stands upright. It works. I like it. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then why don't you unbox that subscribe button, or at least try to, and be sure to check out nintendolife.com for all sorts of lovely Nintendo related content. Thank you again for watching. Bye bye.